Welcome, everybody, and welcome back to Colosseum Gaming. Tonight, we are broadcasting our Fortnite Squad Season 8 rankings release. This is the preliminary rankings. Of course, we will distribute a more final rankings later next week, but the season is about to begin. The draft is next Sunday. Everyone is eager to find out where they stand in the rankings. I'm Amedi, tonight's host, also joined by Cold Brew Drew and Hi Molly. Say what's up, guys.
What's going on, guys? CGL fam, what's up? If you're in the chat, drop some, what is it, sparks or
Drop some emojis, drop some love,
emojis,
guys.
whatever it is, some GGs.
Definitely,
What's up,
definitely.
guys?
Got Molly there too. All very excited to let you know what the rankings are. Doing things a little bit differently this season. For those of you not totally aware of how Coliseum Gaming League's Fortnite tournament goes, we've been doing this for a long time, about 2 years now. We are in season 8. The seasons usually last about 6 to 7 weeks. This is season 8 of squads. Essentially, what happens? You have about 40 people. Everyone gets divided into tiers. The top players become captains and draft their teams just like you would in an NFL kind of fantasy football. They draft their teams every season. You have a new team. It's a very cool, interesting way of doing things. We all know each other. We all know how to rank
Yep.
each other. It's very exciting to be in different teams every season. We've been
And
doing it for a long time, and we're
and not
finally
only
opening this up to the public.
and not only that, like every time you play with somebody new, it's a new like friend, online friend to play with and all that. I mean, bro, some of my closest friends now are from this league, man. When I went down to I'm from Miami, moved away. When I went back, we all hung out, went out to the bars. Like it's a community, bro. It's great.
Absolutely, been doing this a long time. We don't really broadcast these tournaments because this is an invite only tournament. There are public tournaments coming for Fortnite that everyone can join. But thank you for tuning in. We will release the rankings momentarily, but first we have a very big announcement to make. Ice Sweat has become an official CGL affiliate. He is now a content creator and streamer with CGL. Very proud to have Ice Sweat on our team. Go check him out on YouTube. It is Ice Sweat, spelled as you can see on the stream, ICESWEATT. Check him out. His YouTube is ballin'. It is awesome. He is a great streamer, puts up absolutely fantastic content. We're very, very happy to have him on board in the CGL family. He is also participating in our Fortnite Squads tournament. This will be his third season. Definitely looking forward to having him rejoin our squad season. The next thing we want to bring up is the teaser that we released, all the changes that we've made, more particularly here, the point system. We've been doing our old point system for 7 seasons in a row. But as you know, the skill-based matchmaking system and just generally how the game has developed and evolved, end games are very different. There's a lot more sweats out there. The old point system just wasn't cutting it. We've adapted, we've evolved, we've changed it to try and make the tournament better, more fun. The new point system is as follows. You get 10 points now. That is up from 8 for first place. Second place gets 7 points. That is up from 5. Third place gets 5 points. That is up from 2. And now, for fourth and fifth place, you get 2 points. There is no negative points because before, if you didn't get top 3, you would get -2. So now placement is as more important than ever. There's still 1 point per kill, no minimum kill rule. This definitely changes the landscape. 10 points for a victory royale. Molly and Drew, how do you think that's going to affect the season?
I
High
think
scores.
higher scores. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I think it's tough with skills-based matchmaking. Like there's some players that have whatever the formula is that they get hard lobbies, and I think it's a good uh iteration of the rules to kind of conform to like today's Fortnite, which is a lot different than it was even 2 to 3 seasons ago. You know, the meta's changing fast. People are getting really, really, really good, and I think it's a really good rule change because getting top 5 is hard. It's not easy.
I kind of see what Molly's saying, though. I mean, I definitely think that some teams will have outstanding, will break records for single game points.
I don't know,
but
man.
when you add up all 3 games, I think we're not gonna get there. I agree with you there, but I think with 10 points and 20 kills, 25 kills, we're gonna have 35 to 40 point game windows.
You see, my reason is because before we didn't count 4th and 5th place. So maybe we get a game, maybe teams get a game like they've done in the past, 14 kills, but they get 5th place. They don't want to count that game because they get -2. So now, with 2 points, you're going to be able to count that game. More kills, close the game.
Less backing out, though. A lot less backing out.
Yeah, a lot less backing out. It changes.
I don't know, man. I just think some of these lobbies are gonna be. It's gonna be
already.
It's gonna take a full like team game.
Team effort.
Team effort, exactly. For who's gonna win.
It's gonna be a lot of slow drops now, definitely. I mean, people dropping at grotto, dropping at the corners of the map, trying to secure the loot.
Yeah,
because placement is now just as more important than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I think that's a good segue into our 2 questions. Is what does it take to win in CGL, and how we came up with these rankings? So, Molly? What do you think it takes to win in CGL? You're a former champion.
Teamwork. Trust your teammates. See, practice. I believe in practicing, playing with your teammates, not just turning on your Xbox or your PC or your PS4 just to play your game window.
Couldn't
you need
agree
to play
more
with
there.
your team.
Couldn't agree more there.
Chemistry is another top component to winning this league.
Yeah, and the draft day, people don't have a practice week. It's draft day straight into week 1. So not much time to practice, but definitely you have some time before you can play your game window to kind of be on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That and I know a lot of people have families, they have jobs and all that, but like be smart about how you play the game. That's my opinion. Like if you can only play 1 hour a day or 1 hour whatever, like spend 10-15 minutes in creative, then play pubs with your team. In my opinion, I think that's how you get better. That's what I did, and as you can recall, Mehdi ranked me as a tier 3 when I first joined.
Drew's definitely come quite a long way here.
And it was a lot of hard work. I'm not as gifted as some of these guys, you levies, East Coast 305, Clipped, Algarin, I just had to work hard and learn the meta, learn the peaks. Yeah. Watch these streamers. Watch these guys. I used to watch Scab all the time. Yawn's another one that you can learn from, and that's what it is, man. But so Amedi, let's talk about the thought process we have while making these rankings, because it's a lot of behind the scenes work. It's not like we don't pick favorites. We argue about it a lot, but Agreed. We don't pick favorites.
We won't show the rankings just yet. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about kind of how we do the rankings. It's a complicated system. It's not perfect. There are a lot of heads, a lot of minds, a lot of people very loyal, very supportive of CGL that kind of come in, help us give their opinion on rankings. We take a lot into consideration. Some of the things we consider are previous CGL performances. We take into account statistics. Not so much anymore, because with the new skill-based matchmaking system, your KD is very contingent upon the lobbies that you're in. So a person who has a KD of, let's say, 1.0 but plays in the sweatiest lobbies because he's good might look worse on paper than someone who just kills his lobbies and is perhaps tier 4. But that's one of the things we look into. Another thing is just kind of personal experience. A lot of us know each other. We know what we're capable of. We go into creative. We play zone wars. We play box fights. We know what each other is capable of. But as you know, a lot of the creative warriors in CGL don't perform well in CGL in squads, because it's squads is very different than solos. It's very different than zone wars. A lot of communication has to go in it. You can't be Rambo pushing people, pushing into the storm, making bad decisions, positioning yourself wrong. All these things come into play, and we decide, okay, all those factors combined, will a player help his team, take some more placement points, get that extra kill, help his team in the most dire need, and not spend too much time looting, not responding fast enough. All those things matter, because one teammate goes down, a second teammate goes down, you might lose 10 to 15 minutes because everyone's dead. You can't revive people, so a lot of things, a lot of factors go into these things. I'm not sure I missed anything that we kind of consider while ranking anyone.
Yeah, no, I think it's also like handling pressure, man. You only have an hour and a half. Every game counts, especially now that the game's a lot harder. I think that plays a big part, and just teamwork and communication, not being selfish. Sharing your loot is important to me.
Absolutely
Yes.
sharing the loot.
Splitting
Yes.
mats without thinking about it, like
Yes, always.
Yeah.
If you have a ton of ammo, call it out.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
call
little
outs. Yeah,
calls like that,
don't
it's
wait.
like-
Yeah, definitely don't wait for teammates to ask you if you have a lot of ammo. Let people know if you have 6 minis and no one's got shields on. What are you doing? You got to tell people, hey,
Exactly,
get over
yeah,
here. I have
exactly.
2 minis. Let people know.
So
Also, this is squads, bro. If one of you guys die and you guys are spectating your 3 teammates, see what everybody has. Call it out. Nobody's gonna get mad
That's
at you.
a
You're actually helping
very,
your
very
team.
good point. A lot of people don't
You're
do that. They
only-
just sit there and
A
watch.
lot of people don't do that. I watch all the streams. I try to
Very,
watch
very
all the
good
streams.
point, Molly.
A lot of people don't do that. It helps
you're
the
only
team.
you're
It
only as
really
good
does.
as you're only as good as your weakest link,
Yeah.
Like I think one standout player season after season that's really good at this, may not be the best mechanically, may not drop 100 kills, but is famous 305. His game knowledge is his high, like very high IQ, always calls like little things like that out that add add a lot of value to the
Very
your
attentive
game
to his
window, yeah.
teammates.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So he's in a way he's like the IGL, like the in-game leader. You know, so I don't know. I think players like that really is what I try to draft when I'm looking at the.
Yeah.
So speaking of,
And
so
actually,
what-
food for thought actually looks like Rivera OG, one of our newest potential members of the season, is watching us. Shout out to Rivera OG.
I heard
We have you
I
in
heard
our
the grapevine
rankings.
You might be a tier 1. you know, really
We
crack
watched
'em.
we watched
It's
a
kinda
lot of
nice
your
on the
clips.
sticks.
Yeah, definitely Rivera looking nice going into the season already.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
speaking of tier 1s, what let's show them tier 1s. What does it take to be a tier 1?
you think we should show the rankings now? Should we keep
Yeah,
talking?
let's show what tier by tier.
All right, guys, let's go. Here are the rankings. We have it split. We have all the rankings in on one screen. Here you have it. Here are the preliminary, and I cannot stress this enough. These are preliminary rankings. What that means is that don't fall in love with your ranking just yet. We still have some things to discuss. There are some new players that still haven't played with us. Remember the rule. You need to put in hours with some of the commissioners of CGL to make sure we can accurately rank you so that the balance of, the scale of balance is adhered to. So if you're in yellow, you are either new or we just we still need you to play with some of the commissioners so we can accurately rank you, and chances are your ranking may change a little bit. Final rankings will come out next week, late next week, maybe earlier. Before we get into this real fast, just if you guys noticed that Season 8, the title of Season 8, famous quotes by TTV, Techno Viking. No, wait, goddammit, bro. Thank you very much, Viking, for tuning in, and thank you for making that glorious, glorious quote that will never die and will always be heard in CGO hearts. Without further ado, here we are, the rankings. Tier 1 at the top, you're none other than Algorin, winning 2 titles in a row. Algorin
Back.
doing it, getting it done, rightfully deserving that #1 rank spot. Will get the last pick of the draft more than likely, but that will probably not stop him. He is a savage, has proved this in and out.
So I was thinking about this earlier. There's like tranches in every tier. So I think there's the elite people like Ulevis, AJ, TTV, I Wreck You, East Chris 305, Clipped, even Conspired. They're like, these guys are cracked on the sticks. Like, they're extremely gifted, but some of them haven't had that success in CGL. So I think Algarin has the same how do I say, like the same aggression as somebody like Ulevis, but it's controlled. Like, he's smart about it, and he's really good at positioning if you watch his streams. So I think somebody like Ulevis, he can take on a 1v4, but
Yeah.
sometimes he may get unlucky. So I think that's why he's at the top. I mean, it's no question. Back-to-back stars, you can't argue that.
Yeah, Algorand definitely flexing his muscles, and then followed by none other than Cold Brew Drew, making his way up as a tier 3 in season 1, or it was season 2, I
season
think.
2.
Making his way up, definitely has made an incredible improvement. A solid tier 1, solid leader, solid mechanically, solid in pubs, all around, deserving that number 3 spot and having won his own title. That's what those stars mean. Techno Viking, I know your star isn't there. I'm going to add it live on stream just so that everyone knows that you have that star.
So next is Bug Chaser, man. He's I personally think this is his season. I think this meta fits his game like perfect. I think he's gonna run that grotto rotation.
Grotto's the motto.
Yeah, I think Bug. He's a very intelligent player. Really good aim. Doesn't build
Really?
much. Yeah, doesn't like to fight for height. But
Great call-outs.
Great comms. Yep. Great teammate. Will never, he'll never leave anyone behind or anything like that. I don't know, man.
The sexiest voice that will just make you melt. Definitely can't deny that.
I think if he gets the right team, I think this is his shot right here. This meta fits his game perfectly.
Definitely hearing a lot of hype on Caleb. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's go do a little transition here. Techno Viking, I have added your star. Sorry about that. Kenny, I gave you one by mistake. And the next up, one day, Kenny, one day. Next up is AJ. Someone who hasn't been with us for the last 2 seasons, but was an absolute savage on the sticks. Maybe returning to CGL. Will probably be, more than likely be a tier 1, deservedly so, an absolute savage. Has won a star already, participated 2, maybe 3 seasons, took a star, went home, took our money, moved to Mexico, spent it all. He's back to win another star and some more money.
He's got those back taxes he's got to pay. I think personally, I think that's the best performance in CGL of all time was that championship game where they let for those of you who don't know, basically what happened, they were down 5 points. They needed 3 kills and a win or something they needed something insane like that. So they let this team rev in the storm and they were able to get all the kills they needed off this team that rebooted. Yeah. And it was when reboot buses had just come out. So the fact that they had that foresight to do that was it was so impressive. I think when people ask me about CGL, I always tell about that story, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And we're all used to Fortnite, every season there's something that could be, very small changes or very drastic changes like reboot vans, redeploys, you name it. So CGL's kind of the same way because the Fortnite season changes dramatically mid-season, your strategy might change dramatically as well. So definitely a lot of quick adapting from each team is required.
Not only that, there's, if you notice the tier 1 list and some other elsewhere in the list is I see a lot of PC controller players now. It's not good enough just to have good 90s anymore. Now it's like your frames and your performance of your equipment, your machine and all that. So
absolutely,
that's also a big thing. I see before there was 1 or 2 people that were PC controller or keyboard and mouse, but now it's growing, man. It's this game is insane. It's come a long way. It's come a long way, and I don't think it's done just yet.
Definitely. Let's why don't we maybe finish over the tier 1s and then speak generally about all the other tiers and then answer some questions here. So East Chris 305 has been a tier 1 since season 1 of CGL. Always telling us he shouldn't be there, but always proving himself wrong, getting it done every single season.
First ballot Hall of Famer for sure.
Definitely has won at several MVPs. East Chris stays in tier 1 deservedly.
I don't know who was the guy that carried him where he won the star.
The man talking right now.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That was sketch.
He had 3 teammates. That's right. I'm sure East Chris probably nodding his head right now.
That week, see, that was teamwork, man. It was like our tier 4 dynasty, aka Brian. He popped off that week. Our tier 3 Molly had a phenomenal game win though. I had my highest kills of the season that week. It's teamwork, man. That's what wins CGL. So we had a line coming back. Took a little hiatus to play Call of Duty. Realizes camping is not for him. I mean the.
Yeah,
I never took a hiatus.
Align kind of,
last season.
Call of Duty came out. Align switched over, became a savage of Call of Duty. Stopped playing Fortnite for a while. Came back and was, picked it up right where he left off. Was still a savage, never was the greatest builder of all, but that has never stopped him. He has incredible aim, incredible movement, incredible IQ, and that doesn't go anywhere.
Great leader, and people love playing for him and with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Rivera
Very good
OG
teammate.
here.
Yeah.
The next up, he is here in the chat. Still kind of a question mark. He is in yellow.
Big question mark.
He
But
does
we've
seem like
heard
a
stuff.
savage. With several box fight clips we've seen, we've liked. Just got to see how he is in squads. One thing is to box fight and be a creative warrior, but can you support a team? Can you move with them? Can you help create those 2v1, 3v1 situations, which helps one squad beat another? Those questions will hopefully be answered, and we will have a better ranking of him. But, definitely looking like a tier 1 going forward, which means he will have to draft, which also means he will have to get familiar with a lot of these names here.
Big factor in this league is
Big
knowing
fact,
who to
yeah,
pick.
definitely. So, coming into this league, gonna have to try and play with as many people as possible from today up until next week. Obviously, the rankings will help with that, and that's why we do it. Most of us know each other. We won't. Sometimes people will reach in the draft. They won't get the next best available. They'll go for a friend or someone they think is undervalued. So, Rivera OG. The rankings will help, but we definitely recommend playing with as many people as possible so you can make that good decision, who has the best chemistry with you, etc. Conspired here next. Francisco.
He's had good success.
One of the best aims in the league.
Yeah,
I
aim,
definitely agree there.
pretty good leader, good builder.
We'll swear he's not a tier 1,
Stays
but
calm.
proves himself
Stays
wrong.
calm,
situation.
doesn't get tilted.
Yeah.
Very, very fun to play with. And who did he win with? I don't remember.
Trying to remember.
No, that's
Hey,
a
could that be an error? I think he did win.
Might be
didn't
an
he?
error.
We can check that though, but
I
if
don't remember.
if he didn't win a star, well, he's getting credit right now.
And then we got the old.
Oh,
David
this one was kind of a
Clift.
curveball here. David,
So, check this
David's
out,
ranking,
check this out.
taking a hit.
Check this out. David Clipped. He was the first PC player in CGL, right? He killed Liquid Chat when Liquid Chat was a top 10 player in Tilted Towers.
I remember that.
One of the best clips ever in CGL history. So this guy, it's like, man, if he can figure out how to control that aggression, holy shit, he's so fucking good. He's so talented. He's such a talented player, man. He's just like, he puts himself in unfavorable situations. That's the only thing.
Absolutely here. And
Yeah,
now moving over to tier 2, 3, and 4. I don't know, maybe we want to pick and choose some of the players here.
Well, let's see. We got.
We got Danny. We got Hyrule, Hypnotic,
one of
Ameti.
Danny Hyrule King is just a solid player, man. Like, he wins his one-on-ones, he wins one-on-twos, doesn't get mad, shares his loot. He's a solid player, man. The only thing is comms.
He is the silent assassin.
Yeah, man. He'll be fighting. He won't call for help. He'll win it himself, or he may not. But
You
That's the
point
only
and he
thing.
shoots. He's not
Yeah.
afraid of a fight. He'll rush with you in the trenches. You just need to stay on top of him.
yeah, he's one of the best picks out there, in my opinion. Great asset to have
Yep.
on your team.
Yep.
Then you got Hypnotics, who dropped a little from last season. He had a lackluster season, but still a great player, really fun to play with, good teammate. Followed by Medi004, Mr. I Got Height. He's on PCC now, so
Definitely says Xbox there, but he's on PCC.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sure
on
you guys
PC now,
hear me
so-
constantly saying, joking around, I'm on PC now. Definitely
So
has
we'll
helped.
see,
The
man.
game's
We'll
pretty
see if he
enjoyable.
can-
Yeah,
if he
definitely
can-
have
if he
definitely
can
have some
silence the critics.
definitely have some things to prove here. I've been involved with CGL. This is my 8th season, and I am still titleless. I am the Charles Barkley of the league of the NBA here. Hoping, praying that this will be my season. Been practicing, been grinding, playing a lot of zone wars, playing a lot of box fights, playing a lot of pubs, listening to some of that criticism. Hopefully this is my season.
Yep. Then we got game too damn good 786. I guess 305 was taken, or what's going on there?
And I don't even think he's from Miami, so
Uh,
definitely worth asking him what the 786 there means.
I
But
think maybe it was copied from the sign-up form. I don't know. I don't know.
Possibly.
786.
But,
You got
yeah,
Gringo coming back, another
Connor.
solid player, great asset to the team. Changed his name to have the CGL tag in there. We really appreciate that.
absolutely.
Also
Two
two-time
stars
champ.
there.
Also
Two-time
two-time
champ
star,
Connor.
Yeah, he adds a
El
lot of
Gringo.
value. Adds a lot of value to the team. You
Of
got
cour-
Jesse Berberry.
Arrowberry 8 on PS4, another
Slayer.
solid, just
Coming
one,
off
just
Slayer,
just
just
won a
one.
star. Him and
He
Algarin.
was top. He was one of the top killers, or one
Yeah,
of the top.
yeah, just a
kills,
solid
yeah.
performance by Jesse. You know, I
Yeah,
think
he's a slayer, man. You know,
Slayer,
Yeah,
comparable,
absolutely, you
Just
know.
like Danny.
he's like Danny, exactly.
yeah, actually,
we had
I have the kills. He was number seven in cumulative in total kills. You know, so
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
Barberry?
stunning.
Barberry.
Yeah, it was just
Dude, we got
great.
Jaguars got promoted. He was I think he was like
Jaguar.
fourth
He was in
kills.
tier
What a
3 last
season.
season, ranked.
Yeah, what a season.
And he
One is tier 3.
man, he was look, take this. If had he been ranked in tier 2, he would have been number 2 in kills in rank 2. So,
Yep.
a stellar performance by Jaguars, rightfully so. His rank has gone up, not just because of his performance, but he is very good in squads, just a great teammate, great callouts, all the things you need to be a tier 2.
And you got Ice Sweat, who's on actually a keyboard and mouse player. So he's
Ice Sweat,
his ceiling's just
CGL
gonna get higher
affiliate.
and higher.
Absolutely, an absolute savage there. This will be his 3rd season. You can go check him out on YouTube at Ice Sweat. He is a CGL affiliate. Just great content here. His 3rd season with CGL. And the next 3 players, all new, all requiring to put in hours with the commissioners to get a more accurate ranking. Weapon FXBL, who is friends with Rivera. Rivera has talked him up, comparing him to himself. So Weapon here might be a hidden gem. You know, we might see him rise up the rankings of tier 2. You know, only time will tell if he puts in the hours to get ranked by the commissioners. Killer Instincts,
Yes.
aka Danny Renee. He is from Miami. Hasn't done a squad season with us, but participated in the Duos Cup. Did very well. Brought his brother on board, who was the next player here in the rankings, Locomite in tier 3. Danny Renee, very solid player. Played with him a few times. Still requiring some extra knowledge in him to get a better ranking, but a solid all-around player. Clean edits, clean aim, good movement.
So-
Only time will tell.
So who do you think makes the jump from tier 1 to tier 2?
From tier 2
I'm
to
sorry,
tier 1.
Tier 2 to 1.
Interesting there. You know, a lot of good
Is
names
there
here.
anyone-
Game could potentially go up. You know, maybe a lot of talk about Ameri potentially getting in there. You know.
I don't know. I don't think they're. I don't know. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear that.
You know,
So
definitely a
we'll
lot
see.
of good candidates
so,
there.
So really quick, what makes a great tier 2 for those watching out there?
A great
Like
tier 2,
what?
honestly, the easiest, in my opinion, and if I can go first, in my opinion, a great tier 2 can fill in the shoes of a tier 1. If a tier 1 goes down, a tier 2 is there, has his moments where he can just beast out, provide that tier 1 slayer capacity, help his team get out of pickles, you know, obviously supports his tier 1 and his friends, but you know, is a borderline tier 1 in terms of mechanics, gameplay, but you know,
Yeah.
obviously has that capability of filling in a tier 1 shoes if the tier 1 is, let's say, having a bad game, and it happens to all of us, or the tier 1 is dead.
What do you think, Wally? What makes a great tier 2?
A great tier 2. Somebody that could get kills. Just yeah, basically fill in the shoes of your tier 1 when your tier 1 doesn't step up.
Yeah, I think they, I think the gap between the tiers is like they might be missing something that a tier 1 has. Like maybe it's communication, maybe it's leadership, maybe it's mechanics, maybe it's aim. I think they're just missing that one part, and if they work on that, then they can cross that hurdle and move on, you know. But like you said, someone that can fill in, tier 1 goes down, they're right there to pick them up, you know. Pick up the
Absolutely.
slack. So
Definitely don't disagree there.
tier 3.
Tier 3s. Can't forget about tier
This is the
3s
bread and
or
butter,
tier
man.
4s.
This is where the draft is won, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have
get
to
a
agree
good
there. You know, all the
tier
tier 2s are all pretty comparable, all very similar. Tier 3s and tier 4s, that's where a lot of that IQ comes into play, picking a good tier 3, tier 4 with good chemistry,
Yeah.
finding those hidden gems. Locomite, we've talked about, brother of Killer Instincts, comparable to Killer Instincts. Only time will tell. He is in yellow, which means he is required some additional hours so we can accurately rank him. But next on the board is no other than Hi Molly, who is with us tonight commentating. Molly is, as comparable with any of the tier 2 players that you can see there. Obvious tier 2 caliber, a great player all around. Aim, movement, builds, gets mad at his shadow. Great call outs all around, great positioning. If you're kind of staring at butterflies for 5 seconds, you can always count on Molly to be very zoned in on the game, snap you out of it, tell you what the next best play is. Absolute savage.
So something I want to point out here, Joseph Biggie 231 was one of the commissioners. He switched over to keyboard and mouse, and it resulted in a star. I don't know.
That's right. His first
correlation
season
is there.
KBM, and he wins a star. Kind of a trend there, and his ranking's gone up. And his ranking's gone up. Yeah, he's getting
good.
Definitely putting in the hours and getting very good at KBM. Still says Xbox, we'll fix that, but he's now officially PC KBM, and he is doing very well on KBM.
And he's also one of those players that can kind of fill in that tier 2 role of being that leader if the tier 1 goes down. So it's these are things to think about while you're drafting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So we got famous 305.
Just really cool. We skipped over Spanky there. Spanky, he may join us this season. Has won a star. I think last season actually he won. No, it wasn't last season. Excuse me.
Yeah,
but,
last season.
It was
last season with Algar and Biggie.
With Algar, yeah, he was part of the championship team. Might join us this season. We hope that he does. Just moved from, had a stellar performance last season. Hope to see him in season 8. Now on to famous 305.
Like we said earlier, the quintessential tier 3, 2-time champ, really high IQ. What he makes up, you know where his ceiling is, but he's gonna give you consistent performance every week after week, and he has a very very high IQ of the game. So he's a great asset to have on any team, in my opinion, and to me he's like the prototype of the tier 3 I want.
And if you can't get famous, you can always go for 2s because they're both the same player.
Nami is the nicest guy in the whole league, man. What a guy. Dude, that guy can have 20 health.
2-time
no ammo or
Nami.
anything.
Yeah.
And he'll drop you a scar. He'll drop you his heals. He'll say, "You take it, Poppy." and in crunch time, man, he'll get you out of that fight, bro. Like he's a great asset to have. And those two guys are to me the what I want from on my team.
Yeah, next up on the list here, Sadistic or Bane. Hopefully will join us this season. Another uncertain player to join us this season. Hoping that he does. Here he is in tier 3. He is a savage. He's great at third person.
He was a semi-pro esports.
I think it was Gears of Solid.
Gears of War, yeah. Before it was
Gears of War.
And there wasn't a lot of money in it. He was a semi-pro who traveled to tournaments.
Yeah.
He's
brought those skills over to CGL.
He used to be a tier 1.
Yeah, it was a tier 1/2 in season 1.
That guy could turn on the game without playing for a month, and he'll drop you 5 to 7 kills.
Yeah. He's one of those players that just have that natural talent there.
And then we had our first keyboard and mouse player, Josh, who's pretty good mechanically.
Yeah, Josh was our first KBM. We just opened up the KBM last season?
Last season. He was actually on my team, and I had to trade him because he was going to Japan for 2 weeks. But he's good mechanically. Doesn't play a lot, but if he played more, he'd definitely rise up the ranks.
Yeah. Then there's 2 new players. Oh, well, one semi-new. So I Spit, You Spread, Bailey, one of the new players. Hoping he joins us. Has to put in the time with the commissioners. so we can get an accurate ranking. Rumor has it he is in a tier 3 caliber. Hoping he joins. Next up, Sebastian. Bash Finish Smash. He has played with us once before, 3-4 seasons ago. Was in tier 4. Has made improvements. Rumor has it he's now playing at the tier 3 caliber. As you can see, he is in yellow. Has to put in that time so that with the commissioner so we can accurately rank him. Same going with Mattel. We have played with him. We are somewhat comfortable with his ranking.
Yep.
Drew and Molly can probably speak to Mateo here, who having played with him last night.
Yeah, we played him yesterday. Good teammate, good comms. Wasn't selfish.
Little bit rusty, but you
Yeah.
can tell he'll pick it up. He'll pick things up fast.
Well, he actually. So funny enough, he murked us the day before in Call of Duty, so we know his aim is good. I
Yeah.
know his aim is good. I was on the other side of his barrel most of the search and destroy matches, but he's he's one that could be a hidden gem, in the rankings, that sleeper pick. And then we have the tier 4 winner from last season, Lowdown 03, who, to be honest, man, for tier 4, he has some really good aim. He just doesn't play a lot, so like the building's not there, but with a little practice and all, he could easily be a tier 3. It's just a time factor with him. Like, and he great callouts, good knowledge, because when he's when he has his baby, he's watching Twitch. So he's trying to stay involved as much as he can. But
One thing I like about Lowdown, very coachable, listens, and always tries to get better.
Yep, exactly, bro. He's always asking questions like, "Oh, why do you do that? How'd you do that?" Great teammate. Good to have. And then
Go ahead.
Also, he won his tier. He won his tier.
Yeah, he won his tier.
That's right.
He has awesome aim, like really good aim. He's like in Call of Duty, same thing,
I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's a tier 4 thing, but I do think that sometimes tier 4s do tend to wander off. Kind of separate themselves from the rest of the group. So when you're in the tier 4, definitely looking for people who, move with the group, support the group, move as a unit, because that's what wins gunfights. That's what wins games.
See, with me, my issue with that is I feel like that happens, but that's all about leadership, though. As the leader of the team, you have to make sure that you keep your tier 4s in check too. And honestly, sometimes tier 4s, like, they win you matches. A perfect example was LNR, probably the greatest team in CGL history. They played,
definitely the biggest underdogs.
Yeah, easily the biggest underdogs. We had Dynasty, and he had an outstanding playoff performance.
Yeah,
like,
we talked about that earlier.
Like he literally played not I want to say horrible. Yeah, it was pretty bad. The regular season he played bad, but in the playoffs he balled out. Like, it was crazy. And moments like that,
and
really
he listened,
shows.
and he just
Yeah,
all he did was
listened,
listen. Yeah.
and he dropped his car. Yeah.
So the next player is Dat Kid Jr. Was a white boy, aka Jonathan.
Kid.
Actually, I use him as an example as the perfect tier 4. Like, really good teammate, good knowledge of the game, has pretty good aim.
Arguably could be in tier 3.
Yeah,
I actually was about to say that. Yeah, he's made some just incredible improvements over the last 2 seasons. Most notably seen in Zone Wars. His building's been on point. His communication, just one of those players that might actually see that jump to tier 3 next season.
Yeah, for sure.
Alex, I heard they actually call him a Medi Jr. in Zone Wars.
That's good, man. That's good. Hey, keep it up, that kid. Definitely.
So
And
he's an example of use of like the perfect tier 4 and what you want out of it.
Yeah, but by the way, guys, East Chris 305 has joined us, another commissioner of CGL, just joined us in late here to help commentate, providing a lot of good, strategical commentary, knows a lot about the game.
All right, you guys ready for my hot take?
Oh, no. Can't wait.
I think Techno Viking becomes a tier 3.
Wow, okay.
You heard it here first.
I mean, that's my favorite tier 4. I've been wanting to play with him.
Dude, he's on PC. That PC's no joke, man. His PC is like double the power of mine. If he doesn't do it, the PC's gonna do it for him, bro.
Yeah, and with the famous quote that we named the season 8 after.
I think, bro.
No, wait, goddamn it, bro.
Man. I've seen some improvements on his in his end, especially in Zone Wars. And his mechanics. I don't know.
Definitely will have to learn how to, deal with trees, and bushes, as he states
Fish
himself.
guys.
They are his kryptonite. Hoping that
Give him the
hoping
sniper.
that this season he has improved his play against trees.
I don't know, man. I think
One thing about Manny, he's a vet. I've seen it. Any team he's on, they always go far. He
Yeah.
has a star. He's
Yep,
proven.
yeah.
7 seasons with CGL.
Now, yeah. So the thing about Osmani, Techno Viking, yeah, we're saying all this about tier 3, but we gotta remember, guys, he has a recent career change, so hasn't been playing as much as he used to.
Yes.
That's a
Oh,
So we
very-
have
bro,
to
man.
think
That's
about
a
that.
factor.
Yes.
Nah, no, those are
Yeah,
those are
that
little
is
bits
a
of
factor.
information that some of the
Yeah.
tier 1s have, and they get to know about people as
Yeah,
they play
his
with them
schedule might
that
not
will
be
affect the
as
draft.
favorable. But I mean, I think he's gonna stay in that tier 4 in my opinion, just because of that.
So all right. What about Kenny? Kenny's always a question mark to me.
Oh,
guy-
I like
Guy's
Kenny,
a
man.
slayer,
Kenny
bro.
has, yeah, he is. He has his moments,
He's
man.
a slayer,
He's
bro.
got his
He
aim,
doesn't
bro.
listen.
He's got great aim. He'll win his 1v1s. His building isn't there. Doesn't really matter. You don't need building to be valuable in this game. Kenny, I think he's undervalued. He's a great player, very cool guy. Sometimes he ventures off though. We've told him before. Some of us like to venture off, go a separate route. Gotta stay focused, stay with the team.
Yeah.
But Kenny is a
just-
solid tier 4. I like him. If I was a tier 1, I would draft Kenny.
I just never know what I'm gonna get with him. That's the. Then we got followed by Anthony GK9, who is really good friends with Hypnotics, Algarian,
Javi.
yeah.
No,
Good player.
You skipped over Javi.
Wait, really? Oh, my
no,
bad.
we did not skip over
No, you know
Salsa
why?
himself.
Because Javi has
How
his own tier.
dare we?
Javi has his own tier. He's in the Malanga tier, bro.
Tier 4 the
Malanga.
Malanga salsa.
He has his own tier, man. He's a guy's guy.
El
bro. The
mono
guy-
escondido.
Javi would fit my team so well. By the way I play, how I like to listen to music and stuff. Like I'm definitely reaching for him if he's available. Telling everybody
keeps
know
it
right now.
loose, keeps it fun.
Yeah,
really
yeah,
funny.
it's
Like
no stress.
you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
If
know.
you want a game, if you want a game window full of fights, Javi finds all the players for you.
Yeah. And I will, Javi has his moments, man. He shows a lot of tier 3 play, tier 3, capabilities. Several instances in zone wars, in pubs. I think with him, it's just consistency. He's got it. He's got the mechanics. He has become great at playing aggressive, at building. His shot is on point. He's great at communication.
He actually is a really good builder.
Absolutely,
He might be the best builder in tier
undervalued.
4.
I would say he's undervalued at tier 4 there.
He's a
We've
really
we've
good
had him
builder.
at tier 3 before.
So
Yeah.
the only thing with Javi is he'll be silent for 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden you'll hear is, "Oh guys, I'm dead.
Oh,
Look
man.
over, and he's in between 4 guys.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to Anthony GK9, who, like I said, is friends with Hypnotics, Algarian. Loves playing creative, pretty good player, good teammate. And then you, Alex, the last 2 guys or the last 3 guys.
Megaberts,
I'm gonna defer
Albert.
to you, yeah.
Yeah, he is my roommate. He is the person that you hear screaming in the background, sits right behind me, plays the game. He was a Halo prodigy, has just great aim, great game sense. He's the one you've seen walking behind me, shirtless sometimes as I'm streaming live. Very solid tier 4 player. Doesn't play as much as we would hope, but has been putting in the hours and has been doing very, very well. I've been watching him. Has definitely improved. He's a good tier 4. I don't really have anything negative to say about him.
Coachable.
All right. Yeah.
Tesucio, another friend of mine, has been involved with CGL for several seasons. Was a tier 3 at one point, just hasn't played the game as much, and because of it has fallen in the rankings. Still a solid pickup at the bottom of the list. Definitely needs to put in the time to get back, to get higher in those rankings. Josh, makes a very good tier 4 pickup for this coming draft. And the last one is Mulligan,
And he has a nice boat.
and he has a nice
Yeah,
boat.
you kind of want
Yeah.
that guy on your team. If you're man.
Yeah.
Guys, I have been on the boat. I've had the pleasure. I've gone out with him. It's
I've-
fucking incredible.
I've teamed up with Josue twice in CGO. every time he tells me, Mally, if we win, we'll go on a boat. I have failed him both times. I'm sorry, Josh.
Yeah. And then finally is the Mulligan, another new player. So just so you guys know, there's some a lot of the players in yellow, they're at the bottom of their tiers, and the only reason is because we just don't know enough about them yet. So a lot of these players, the Mulligan, he may end up being top of tier 4, maybe even sliding in tier 3, but only time will tell. Those players need to put in the hours with the commissioners so we can get an accurate ranking. If you do not fulfill that obligation, we cannot accept your application into Season 8. We have to do rankings correctly. This is the bread and butter to have a very nice, consistent, balanced, fair season.
So let's go around, all 4 of us. And we're gonna go tier by tier. Who has the best shot of winning, and who's gonna win their tier? So let's go tier 1 first. Molly, what do you think?
Oh,
Best shot of
Jesus.
winning, and who wins their tier?
Tier 1. Who I believe Algren will win his tier.
Okay.
He's pure Slayer. The captain to take it to the finals. And win it all. I'm gonna have to say my sleeper pick, Caleb. He was close last season. He knows what he's doing. He's been playing. He knows the rotations.
What do you got, Amedi? What do you got?
Man, so many good names here. I'm gonna go with East Chris 305. I think
Star?
he's gonna win another star. Star.
MVP?
He's gonna win another star.
Brother
He's
Law.
gonna make very, very good draft decisions, drafting me, and he's going to win again. I really think East Chris 305. He's got a lot of great game sense, a lot of IQ. Really knows how to control his team, make call-outs, and that is just season in, season out. Constantly performing, and you can see it in his streams. That always helping his team, always doing very solid. In terms of winning the tier, man. I feel like the easy route is saying Algren, but
True, 3-time? First 3-time champ?
Damn, that's
Man, that'd be
That's
something.
Algren, man.
That's something. That's something, man.
yeah, I think it's
He
my
can
t-
most
look,
definitely
my,
do it. He
my
has the
yeah,
potential.
yeah. I have to say Algren, although I think Drew and even Rivera OG, depending on how Rivera's ranking can be, but it looks like Rivera is the true savage, and maybe Rivera can take the tier.
I think Rivera with his draft position, if he's that good, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, that is something we definitely need to take a look at. I mean, because that might be a problem.
What do you think, Chris? Who wins the tier? Who wins the star?
I'm gonna win the tier.
East Chris 305. What? Wait, he is
Let's
on
say-
PC controller now.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
win.
let's
You
say
You
he's
guys are
gonna win
forgetting
the
about
star.
that. You guys are
I'm
forgetting
gonna win the
about
star
that.
too because I'm gonna draft. I'm gonna draft Gringo with my first pick. Then with my second pick, I'm gonna draft Ozzy. And then with my fourth pick, I'm gonna draft Javi. And we're gonna have so much fun playing together, and we're gonna listen to so much Bad Bunny that we're gonna win.
This guy lives in a. Never mind.
Drew, you're up.
This guy's still in season 2 CGL.
Good
I
times.
think Bug, man. I think Caleb wins the star this season. The meta
Wow.
fits perfectly, and he has a pretty good draft spot. He gets the right team. I think he wins, man. And I think you guys ready for this hot take?
Let's hear it.
I think Clift makes a comeback and wins his tier, especially with that draft
Wow. Okay. That's a bold move there.
position. I think
Oh,
Clift, if
bold.
he picks the right tier too, he makes a comeback.
Does Clip
Reigns
go
it out.
Danny?
I would
don't-
if I was him.
I would if it's his play style.
Yeah.
They're both. He needs.
It's gonna be
Danny.
high risk, but I think
That's
with
kinda
his draft
scary.
pick, that'll be good for him, you know.
That's kind of scary.
Then we got tier 2. Who wins? Chris, who wins a tier? Who wins a star?
Tier 2, I'm gonna go Danny. Danny gets the most kills.
Okay,
Who wins the star? I'm gonna go Jags.
Jags.
Yeah, because
That's
we
a
know
great
that
player.
Bug Chaser's gonna draft him.
That's true. He's a great player. Molly, what do you think?
Winning their tier, I'm gonna go with Hypno.
Ooh. Okay.
Winning a star. It's kind of hard to
Yeah, it's a little
have a
different,
take.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little different have a take on winning the star with the lower tiers because they're the ones getting drafted. But let me see. Alex Medina, I think maybe
You think he gets
is
his
this-
first
All
start?
right,
Maybe.
that's some.
Hot take. Somebody
Hot
clip
take.
that.
Molly, I've
Somebody
never
clip
loved you
that.
more. This is going live, by the way.
I've been purposely pissing him off so he could prove me wrong. Let's see if this is a season he.
If
proves me
that's true and I end up winning my tier and my star, I will give you all the money I win. All I want is that star, baby. 8 seasons and no star, can't have it done. I will not be the
dunk the
Charles
mentality, baby.
Barkley of the league.
What
Stop, don't compare yourself to
Alex,
Charles
what
Barkley.
do you think? Who wins the star? Who wins the tier?
All right, in the tier, man, Molly already took me away from me. I really think I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna play hard as I can. I'm really gonna do my thing. I've been grinding. I've been practicing real hard. So it's hard not to say me. But here's a little curveball for you. Game too damn good. Keep
Wins
your
a
eyes.
tier?
Keep your eyes on him.
Okay.
He is
Okay.
very, very solid. Mechanically, as good as me. I have incredible chemistry with him. I don't know if it's just because me and him play very well together, which I like to believe, or if he's just a very good teammate. Either way, game too damn good on console, doing incredible in box fights, zone wars, and even in pubs. I really think Game has a chance and will win his tier.
Okay. I think Danny, if somebody like clipped or conspired picks him, I think he wins a star again. He's such a good player, man. Such a great player. And then I think who wins the tier is this Weapon F Xbox Live guy. That's a sweaty name, man. I don't know. I think he wins the tier, bro. I'd be scared of that guy.
Hey, bro, you're not doing yourself any help by exposing him in the chat. We're peeking.
And that,
Everyone's
no,
stay
I've seen
quiet
him in
there.
creative. He's a good creative player. So we'll see how that translates, but he definitely has the mechanics. Moving on to tier 3, who do you think is MVP here? Yeah.
I got Biggie.
MVP?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most
Iggy,
kills.
okay, you know what? I can't disagree with that. But go ahead,
He's
Molly.
on-
Yeah, he's on keyboard mouse,
I'm-
man.
I'm
Nice
actually
ceiling.
gonna pick Biggie too.
Very
Oh,
high
there you go. You have
Yeah,
2 for
yeah.
Biggie.
He
He has a
proved
very
like
high ceiling.
he
Yeah.
amazed me last season.
Yeah.
He's a totally completely different
Yeah,
player.
he amazes me in zone wars,
Maybe-
in box fights.
Maybe he could make the push for tier 2 again.
Yeah.
He
I think I'm
was.
gonna agree.
He was a
was
tier
an
1.
original tier
He
1.
was a tier 1
He was an
originally.
original
Yeah,
tier 1.
absolutely.
He
Dude, he
drafted
picked
me.
it up quick. Dude.
Yeah,
picked
he
it,
did.
looked like
He
he
did.
moved, you know?
He's a natural KBMer though. I've known him for a long time. That's been his thing
But-
always. KBM.
Let's see if he could put in the time though, because that's also a little problem
Yeah,
of his.
look-
Not enough
But
time.
his ceiling, the thing is, his ceiling just got a lot higher with
Yep.
keyboard and mouse.
I'm gonna reach for him.
Yeah, you know what?
And,
We're gonna go 3 for 3 here. I'm gonna go with Biggie as well.
And to wrap it up, tier 4, who's the MVP?
That kid.
That kid? Okay.
That was
Ready?
fast. That was actually my pick. I think I think it's gonna be that kid.
That kid shouldn't be tier 4.
What about you, Molly?
I'm gonna go with Kenny.
Ooh,
Kenny,
he wants
okay.
it. I think he has one.
Okay,
He
salsa,
has
huh?
one.
I think he has one before. He wants it again. He's been playing a lot. I've been playing with him. I think he wants it. He really wants it.
And
this
odds
season.
are he ends up on Alliance team for like the 4th or 5th time.
Yep. They have
Oh,
great
no.
chemistry.
And I'm
Oh,
gonna, I'll take Techno Viking, man. I think he makes a
Techno
jump.
Viking.
I think it's there, bro. I see it. But I have nothing else to add. What do you guys think? Should wrap this up. Go play some Zone Wars.
with a final transition. No, thank you all for tuning in with a final. We're going over the rankings, but again, the final rankings will be posted next week. Don't fall in love with these rankings. It's changing. It's a moving process. We obviously like to provide people with preliminary rankings for everyone to get a little sense of what the rankings look like, particularly for the tier 1s, the guys who will do the draft and have to know who's available, who's in each tier, and who to start playing with. But we will submit those rankings next week, end of next week, sooner rather than later. And we want to just hop off here by letting you guys know that we have officially become partners with Ice Sweat. He is a CGL affiliate, a content creator, streamer, phenomenal streamer. You can check him out on YouTube at Ice Sweats, ICESWEATT. That's 2 T's, guys. Check him out. Makes incredible content. A great streamer, a great player, just all around cool guy. You can
Hilarious
check him
videos
out.
on YouTube,
Yeah,
yep.
absolutely, definitely check him out. Like and subscribe on his YouTube. And there
Let
you
me add one thing. Let me add one thing, Alex.
go ahead.
Guys, don't be afraid to talk in the chat. Everybody's if you want to play, you have nobody to play with, put it in the chat.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
always
bro.
somebody
Absolutely.
online.
Absolutely.
Somebody
Bro,
online. Great,
like we
great
said earlier,
group of
man.
people. Yeah,
I
like
made
Drew
some
said
of
earlier.
my
Yep.
best friends playing this shit, dude.
Yep.
Are you crying or laughing?
I said earlier, bro. Like,
Hey,
yeah, hit me
hey.
up. We're always down. We're not stuck up. We don't care how you play. We're just there to have a good time, man. And then rank you guys.
We're just there to eat.
All right.
Well, guys,
Thank you, guys.
thank you all very
Good
much. This was Ameti,
Good luck, yeah.
Cold Brew Drew, Hi Molly, and East Chris 305 here bringing you CGL's Season 8 of Squads, the preliminary rankings release. Thank you all very much for tuning in. In 30 minutes, we will hopefully be podcasting a matchup, but definitely at 10:30, we'll be On God versus Miami-Dade County Clan for our 4v4 Call of Duty tournaments. We will broadcast that live at 10:30. Thank you all for joining, and good night.
Let's get